to document code. Said 10% of the developers, but 90% of the developers don't like documenting that much. So now we're gonna see how Copilot can help you document your projects quickly, easily, and much faster than you expect. Let's take a look. Here we have our weather app back once again, right? This project is kind of small. You see, have our pages, you have our counter, our error page, or clicker, and have here layout and www root, right? Here's all the things I need to comment. Like this code, okay, is very understandable, but it may want some documentation, some extra comments here or there, right? So what can I do here? I can ask Copilot a little bit to try to understand my code a little bit better. We can add documentation content here. And when I click here, it goes doc the code in weather.razor. Let's take a look on what this do. And here it says on how we're going to help with this code. So here it's showing some possibilities, what we can do. So once we have code, and documentation. And now Copilot will examine my feature here and take a look. Here I have a small comment. Every type of documentation, you need to review it, right? Because remember, even though we can use AI assistant help to help you to write a better code, it does not mean that you're not responsible for it. So always take a look on the documentation that it wrote and check if it meets reality. Check if it actually makes sense for you and for your team. Here it added some comments. Here says what features it is adding. Here the summaries for our tasks. And here some extensive documentation. Of course, it maybe does not mean that many. It can limit it as well. You can ask it, should you less than that? Because you can see that it is over documenting, which may be a issue here. I'm gonna click in keep, but remember, you can always change this. You can ask it Copilot to comment less, be more general. Now everything is commented, everything is really nice, and you can get what it's doing. But imagine that you need a README for the whole project, right? This is much challenging. You can ask now, could you add a README for the project? Now Copilot will analyze everything on your project and start to check the project structure and then write a lot of things. Once again, I would say that take care on what your Copilot is doing. READMEs can be really complex and maybe require some small big points here, like what it needs to run, what the correct instructions, etc. Usually, you can add a documentation, like imagine you have like extra documentation, you have some points of Jira, or you have some instructions that you already want. So put those as context and then make it right. It'll write much better than you expect and it'll be really nice. And here we have our amazing README. In here, I have some features that it's using, some prerequisites, and some other things we want to look at. This is correct. And then you can see what are some of the points you need to take care of. Of course, I can always take out the emojis, right? Because it's this classic feature that we always have emojis on generated things. But always remember to take a look on if this is correct or not. For me, seems correct, and then I can just keep it. Folks, this is a very simple video on see how can you actually document it pretty easily with Doc. You can go and comment on single pages, and then how we can write it much more. One thing I like to add is that documentation is sometimes really personal and it can be really important for the team. That's why I always tell you to double check. And before I go, I would like to say if you have any comments or doubts or anything you want to learn, please let us know. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you soon. Goodbye.